I'm Peter Bainbridge. I was born in May 1948, so I've got a few years on the clock now. I was raised in Kingstown, and right up to St Peter's Church, you'll see a road called California Road. And that was my upbringing. That's where I was raised. Mother and father. Mother was Ivy Bainbridge, and she worked as a dinner lady in the school at Bailey School. And my father was Joe Bainbridge. He was a well-known man as a pigeon man, raced pigeons, and he worked for the Carlisle District State Management. A good upbringing, good life, and happy little kid, basically. I always was a mischievous kid, always looking for things, and this particular afternoon, I can still see it as clear as a bell. I was actually in my mother and father's wardrobe, and at the bottom of the wardrobe was a tin box, and we opened the tin box, nosing to see what it was. And I came across my adoption papers, and I was really shocked, because there was my name, Peter Bainbridge, but alongside was another name, Donald. And alongside that was a mother's name, Doreen Cook, and her age of 18-year-old and a spinster. And at the very top, after reading that, it says adoption certificate. And long story short, I didn't know what to say. I think I was numb with reading this. A couple of days later, I approached my mother about it. She knew I'd been hunting, because she could always tell if I'd been in drawers and things like that, as mothers do. And she wouldn't speak to me about it. So at that stage, I actually buried somewhere in my mind, right in the back of my mind, that day, until I was about 35-year-old. And at 35, I actually asked my mother again about my adoption. And she told me about it, but she didn't really want to tell me about it. And when she told me about it, she actually made me promise I should never tell anybody else until after she'd died. The emotions that I felt deep inside were, I was on my own. I had no family. Did anybody really love me? Did anybody care? I've told people since, you must never ever look at adoption as something wrong. You must raise a child as your own, make them clear about the parents and their upbringing and where they come from. I grew up knowing that in my heart, somewhere in this world of mine, there was a loving father and there was a loving brother, a loving saviour, that there is a God and he's our Father, and that's how we talk about him. But I was still parking it, I was still carrying it, I was still not doing anything about it, you know. I look back now, guiltily, I was actually playing a one-sided game. My father in heaven was loving me and being very faithful to me. But Peter Bainbridge, as he was going along with whatever was going along with during my life. And the difference to all of that basically really came later on in my life. And I think much later on in my life, the penny started to drop. And over that, just that gradual period, I've got a Father in heaven. I've got a brother who died. He saved me. He saved me, and through him, I've got a life to look forward to. Not just a family life on this earth, on this planet, but the future. And I think over that period of life, I coming to this great age, I've come alive again, and I just think it's just a wonderful place to be in. I just think it's great walking to St John's or St Peter's, and within about 2 seconds of somebody giving you a hug or asking how you are. But if you walked into Marks and Sparks on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday afternoon or whatever day, you don't get greetings like that. You don't get greetings if you go in somebody's office or the doctor's like that. It's unique, isn't it, to have that. My great wish is that many people in St. Peter's and St. John's, and perhaps every church across the world, would sit down and realise that the person sitting next to you is your brother or your sister. And if that thought can enter your mind and stay with you, and knowing that you've got the greatest father ever watching over you, and you know that sometime in the future you have an opportunity to be with your brother and your father, that's just proper family news, and that is what I call is a family service. And that is, I just look at it and I think, well, that to me is really the true meaning of Father's Day.